just change this ramp. Because there's, and that's the thing is sometimes some of the tools, the heated tool, it may not be able to achieve the ramp that you ask it to do sometimes, so. But we'll see once we heat it up. So, okay, so there we go. We have a basic ramp here. If we wanted to add, say if we wanted to come up to a certain temperature and then soak a little bit and go up to another one, we can add new. And we can delete them, so you can have as many as you want, or as, you know, and it's the same thing, you have those three.
The idea of these ramps and cooling down, what's the idea?
So cooling down is, you can adjust the ramps on cooling also. So when you're cooling down, you can adjust your ramp. If you want to cool down real slow, make your ramp, you know, slow, and then if you want to cool down fast, adjust your ramps accordingly.
So this is
right here.
They're both in contact. That this is what happens when
Yes.
they're both in
Yeah.
contact and bonding.
Yeah. So right here, cooling, it says use cooling and force cooling. So use cooling, what that means is that you want it to follow this ramp rate that you set. If you say forced cooling, in other words, that's like putting the pedal to the metal, going as fast as you can. So there's no, it basically is just cooling as fast as the machine is capable of doing.
Oh,
all right?
It doesn't follow the profile.
It does not follow the profile, right? It's just going to turn it on full blast, and whatever it is, it is. So typically everybody uses the used cooling. And everything else from that point on, you're not going to worry about. You don't have some of these other options. So I don't know what this means. Click on help. Grab the question mark and click right here.
Here?
Yep, just click. Open it up. And bingo, it took me right to that section. Okay, so this machine really, they spend a lot of time and energy with this. This is better than that manual sitting over there.
Yeah,
the manual's been updated lately, but this is, if you ever have a question, you don't understand what the set point is, grab the question mark, click, and there you go. Everything is right there. And then you can go through the, you know, you can go and try and find stuff on your own. But so just click the X here, there, boom. So very, very good feature on the machine. So just so you know. All right. So now that we did this, we're going to hit apply. So now that we hit apply, you heard that click?
Yes.
There you go. My heating plate just turned on, and here's my setting right here, right? 40 degrees C.
Yes.
So maybe we should click this off and then hit apply. All right, maybe we should take this plate out and put our heater plate in.
So we release this.
So it is heating
the
both
word
the head
thing.
and the
The
plate.
word thing.
So this profile that we did was heating both the head and the plate?
Nope. Well, yes, we're gonna do both, but we haven't set the head yet. We just did the heater plate. So to do this, bring your table out, hold it out, makes it a little easier. And just hold it down. Just push on the very end of the pedal. There you go. That's good. Just let go. And now,
press it, right?
yep, pull.
It doesn't come.
Remember how I told you it's really tight? There you go. All right. Okay, so now take the heater plate and kind of go through here. Yeah. And the reason I do that is because when you float your table around, it needs to move back and forth. So put that in, and I usually line that up with the edge there. Looks this edge, this edge, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter. But I always try to put it in the same way all the time because that just helps consistency. All right, so once it's let go of that button totally,
It doesn't look.
no, let go, and then you, right, you can do this, squeeze. There you go. And then once you, yeah, you don't hit that. Once you're done, you want to always check it, make sure it's not loose and it's not moving. So there you go, we're good. So let's put the table back in. Okay. So we can click this again, and it's going to heat up and hit apply. All right, so you heard the click, you see the lights came on, and right here is our temperature. It's at 41 degrees C right now, okay? So let's go to the CCH module tab. All right, let's click CCH, use CCH, yeah, right there. Okay, so now we're gonna set up our temperatures here. So basically, we wanna set up the same temperatures we had on the bottom. Normally that's what you do. You're just gonna set the same temperatures for top and bottom. So we can go to here, I forget what 280, yeah. All right, so we're gonna try to make our ramp rate match up too. So if we change our ramp rate, you're gonna see, yeah, so there you go, that's close. And then our duration, we probably wanna make that about the same, yeah, okay, and then we're gonna go to number 2. Whoops, no. Yeah, so there isn't one, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna click new, and there we go, now we have one. So we're gonna put this one to 90. All right. And then basically, yeah, you can adjust your ramp rate if you want, yep. And I would take that duration way, way back, yeah, no, we don't, keep going.
There's a bus ramp.
There we go, okay. All right, so let's hit apply, and as soon as we hit apply, what's gonna happen is, here's our standby temperature at 90. Same thing over here, we have use cooling. Okay, there's one other thing here, say cooling off at laying arm. This machine is made in Germany, so sometimes the conversion from German to English doesn't quite make sense. Okay, so this cooling off at laying arm, what that means is, in your case, you have these really tiny parts. What happens is that's going to shut off the flow of air from this tube that's controlling the temperature. Because what happens is I come down to pick up my part, that air blows it away. So what happens is when I click this, that means it's going to shut that air off. So when I come down, I'll pick up my part and then I'm okay. So that's, in your example, you would definitely be using this. You would check that off. So if you ever see where you come down to pick up a part and all of a sudden you're just about there and zoom, you see it go flying, you're like, oh boy, what's going on? It's this tube, stainless steel tube right here, that's cooling the heater here for the cooling is what's doing that.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right, let's see other things here. Nope, I think we're okay. We're gonna hit apply. All right, as soon as we hit apply, boom, you can see our CC8 temperature is there and it's gonna start raising up. All right, so, bingo, we just made a recipe. So, it's really straightforward, it's not. So from this point is, what you do is, so just as a general rule of thumb, so the temperature that you set here, we set 280. That doesn't mean that your part is going to be like at 280. Okay, so just remember that. So I usually see a 20-degree delta from the bottom. The thermocouple is on the bottom of this plate to the very top. So if I put a thermocouple on the top, I said, I have a 280 set point. I'm probably going to see 260. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're trying to get to a certain temperature, add 20 degrees C.
So when we apply, we should actually bring down our...
Yeah, so the next step would be, so we just made our recipe, and we made changes, right? And see how the save button is lit up? So say I was making a whole bunch of changes, I'm tweaking my profiles. It doesn't save them to your main recipe until you go and physically click on that and it saves them. So let's go ahead and just save what we made already. Okay, so now it's saved. So the next thing we would do is let's go to our video and let's bring up the light. Yeah, turn that one totally off for now. There you go. And let's bring up the lighting for the heater plate. Okay, so let's just kind of center this up.
Maybe with the...
Yeah, just float the table and get it close to where you want it. And there you go, that's fine. Okay, so So just so that we keep consistent here, we're gonna go to full mag and we're gonna adjust our Z height, right?
That's good.
Yep, go ahead to full mag. Okay, so let's adjust our lighting a little bit. All right, so let's adjust our Z height till we see this surface in focus. Right, there we go. So now we have our zero height set. We can zoom out. All right, so now I would do my alignment and everything. If I have my alignment where I want it to be, I would move my my optic tower over.
Here,
Yep,
all the way.
all the way. Bring my arm down. And let's just leave it sitting like that instead of bring it, well, bring it down a little bit. Don't have it touch. Just,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead. You can bring it down. There you go. And then, okay, stop there and adjust your camera over there so we can see. And you can adjust your focus way at the end. Yep, there's your focus. There you go. All right, so basically that would be, you know, we place our part down. Let's move our optic tower back over. Oh, no, never
Just
mind.
hit
Sorry.
play, yeah.
No. So you put it down and then we hit play. No, leave, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. You can just leave it up like that. That's fine.
Like this, okay.
Yep.
Now,
So now we'll hit play and go to diagram tab. And you can see here's the actual temperature for the upper heater. Here's the actual temperature on the lower heater. And you're going to see that this upper one can't achieve the same ramp rate as that bottom heater, okay? But as it gradually goes up, even though it's not going to be right on that line, you're going to see that it is kind of doing that same ramp rate, okay?
Typically, you want to do this after you put it down.
Yeah, once you have your part down, you hit the play button, and then the bonding starts.
it should be placed and then we.
Yes, you place it and you leave it, you know, if you have force in your recipe, you just leave it so that arm would definitely be all the way down though. We wouldn't, you know, leave it up. So now you can see it comes up, we achieve our temperature, then it's gonna start cooling down, you're gonna hear the air come on. So now it's gonna adjust our temperatures down in the ramp that we asked it to. And then once it's done, it's gonna actually shut off and it'll be done.
How do we activate vacuum on this?
Oh, okay, I didn't tell you that. Yeah, I'll show you.
What is the sound right now?
It's the air that's cooling the heater plate and the air that's cooling the top heater down.
Oh, okay, because of the ramp down.
Yeah. Okay, so the process is done now because this went back to green, but it's bringing these temperatures back to our standby temperature, okay? So, there's another feature with the machine, and this right here, if we just kind of put our cursor on it, nope, next one over. Save protocol. So, let's just click yes. Yeah, click it, and then go to File, and go to Show, go to Protocol, next one down, and say Show Protocol from last process. Okay, so basically this is it's keeping a record of what we just ran. So say I develop my recipe and I have everything tweaked in the way I want it. You can use this as your kind of verification and documentation for what you did. If you go over here and you say print preview, you can print out all the recipes, everything, and a profile of what you did. So you can make the machine automatically save those every time, or you can keep it the way it is right now, and you have to, you know, say yes, I want to keep that protocol. And the way that it does those protocols is it does a time date stamp, and basically if you wanted to go find a certain one, you go into File, Protocol, Load Protocol, then we would go to, this is the gold recipe, and we were just in that, and here's the one we just did. So if there was more than one in there, they'd have, so it saves it under the gold recipe and then under this, each individual profile, yeah. And that would be it, so it's,
The vacuum.
yes, the vacuum. So let's bring our arm back up. Bring that all the way up. Bring this one up. Okay, so turning on our vacuum right here. That turns on the crosshair vacuum. And then this one here turns on this vacuum. Okay.
So they both have vacuum, right?
Yeah, so there's a small crosshair there. That one has, so basically put your substrate down, turn your vacuum on. This is for a gel pack. Sometimes like smaller parts like yours, that's usually how they'll come in a gel pack. Now, what happens is you put that gel pack down there and it pulls the gel down, but with small parts it's kind of like a trial and error thing because sometimes there's different tackinesses to the gel. So sometimes that takes a little bit of trial and error sometimes because your vacuum is very, your vacuum hole is going to be so small for your part that there's probably more surface tension in that gel than there is to be able to lift it up and out.
And when we use this, we could use the vacuum on the bottom, but for the other one we can't use that. Yes, it just.
Well, that foot pedal is only
Yeah.
for this vacuum.
So yeah, I know. For this again, we use that when we want to place. Or
Yes, same thing. Was basically
So
what
the
we
thing
just
that you
did.
said
We
that
would
it
go.
go off when it comes close. Yeah, that was about that vacuum. Yeah, you said like. He told me to because my component is small, I have to use that. Otherwise, it will blow away my.
Okay. So, yeah, but that's got nothing to do with that. So this, if you see this stainless steel metal tube here, right here, see that?
Okay.
When that air, you heard that blowing, that's where the air comes out. And it blows onto this surface here, and that's where the heater is to cool the thing down. So that always has a constant, there's a little bit of air blowing out of there right now to keep it at the 90 degrees C.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the temperature, it blows on there to just keep it at the temperature. So that's why for your parts you would turn that off so that airflow, as soon as it trips this proximity switch, that's what changes from to the side camera, it would automatically shut that air off, and then you pick up and then you put it back and then it turns it back on once you have it. So it's that air has nothing to do with the vacuum. It's just being able to have your part not get blown by that air that's blowing out of that tube.